I thought today that I would talk about my understanding of Sancho, talk about the more I read about him, the more I like him. Sancho leaves his home, he leaves his wife and children to follow Don Quixote. He sets up as Don Quixote's squire. He's expecting to be paid for his work, but he's also holding out hopes that somewhere in their adventures they'll conquer a great kingdom and part of it will be left for him to rule, a little insula that he can govern. Don Quixote is clearly living in his fantasy world. Sancho is far more firmly rooted in the ground, in the present, in what's really happening. He's a keen observer. He's very quick to respond. He's droll, he draws interesting comparisons and makes witty word plays. And nicest of all, he really listens to Don Quixote. He's not just making his comments, he's listening and interacting with what Don Quixote says. He's a delight. He's a wonderful friend and companion to Don Quixote. The Quixote will have to explain in long language, and as soon as there's a break, Sancho will just drop in another witticism or an insight, and it just goes backwards and forwards. The conversation bit's my favourite part, even more so than the action. I have three favourite quotes from the mouth of Sancho Panza. The first is an example of his very clever use of flattery. He says to Don Quixote, "At least, how frightened I was! Your grace does not know what fright is, or the meaning of fear." And that's a very clever manipulation, isn't it? My second favourite words from the mouths of Sancho Panza, it's a very short phrase, "Fear has many eyes." And it's talking about when you're frightened, it's not just what you can see, it's what you can hear or sense, and in many cases, especially in the dark. And my favourite words from the mouth of Sancho Panza are very apt. He says, "Your grace would do better," said Sancho, "as a preacher than as a knight errant." And I think that's certainly the case.